Hello, welcome to my channel. Welcome to our weekly read. Welcome, all are welcome here. If you like this reading, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You will find me here on YouTube as well as Facebook. I will say that I suck at social media, partly because I'm lazy, but anyways, it is what it is. Alright, so if you are on Facebook watching this, then subscribe to my Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel, whichever. All feedback is welcome. I enjoy getting feedback because it helps me to understand the audience and what you guys are looking for or prefer. So today is Wednesday the 13th. Today is also the first day of Mercury retrograde. It will go back direct on January 1st. So we have about 3 weeks of looking within, because Mercury gives us, and it depends, on each year, but usually it's 4 times a year, but there is one on the occasion that's 3 times a year. And if I am not mistaken, however, I might be, because although I stay in earshot of astrology, I don't follow it like I used to. I used to get really deep into it. I don't do that as much now. So I think that in 2024, it only happens 3 times next year instead of the typical 4. Don't hold me to that, because I might not be certain, okay? Anyways, so it typically has 4 times, happens 4 times, but next year, we will be, I think it's next year, doing it 3. So we are in the 4th one this year, the last one, thankfully. It's a given, it's like a 3-week break given to us by the universe, or by God, your higher power, whatever that may be. It's like a 3-week break period. Like, here you go. Figure out where you are right now in your life, your situation. Take a very hard look at yourself and your situation and your life. Is everything where you want it to be? Now, when you ask yourself these questions, know that, and when I said know, I mean K-N-O-W, know that during Mercury retrograde, only during the Mercury retrograde, we have, and it's because Mercury's retrograde, we have an instant connection with our higher self, with our higher power. You are more easily able to receive you ask a question, you can receive the answer like that. Now, we ask questions, and sometimes it is when we're not ready to receive the answer, is like, for example, when we have light bulb moments. We'll ask the question and the answer is given right then. But because we're not ready to receive the answer, we don't apprehend it. So then we have a light bulb moment, usually a few days or even up to a week later. Aha, there it is. Because that's when we're ready to accept it. But during the Mercury retrograde, we have an instant. You ask a question, you should be able to receive an answer right then. Keep in mind that's within your mind, within your subconscious, within your higher self. So, assess where you are. Do you like your life? Do you like who you are as a person? And if you receive no answers, then ask yourself, what can I do to change my circumstances? Or what can I do to make this better? One thing that I have to constantly remind myself is attitude. Because I'm telling you, Attitude is everything. Okay? It is everything. If you take the letters in the alphabet and give them each a number, and then you add the numbers up for the word love, for the word compassion, for hate, for fear, for anxiety, for giving, for receiving. They're all like, a lot of them are single digit numbers. Lots of them are double digits, but there is one that is a triple digit. There is one that adds up to 100%, and that's attitude. Attitude sets the tone and foundation for a lot of things. And I'm telling you, you can turn your situation around just by changing your attitude about something. It's almost like Captain Jack Sparrow said, it's not the problem that's the problem, it's your attitude about the problem that's the problem. Savvy? That right there could be the thing that really changes your scenario, the dynamic, even how something plays out or turns out. It's just simply tweaking and adjusting your attitude about something. So, I'm going to say, now keep in mind, we are in Mercury retrograde. We are kind of like, and okay, I'll go back to Captain Jack Sparrow. I believe it's the third one. When he's in Davy Jones's locker, you remember where he's on the Black Pearl. All of his shipmates are there, all of his friends, but they're upside down. Now, if you're a Stranger Things fan, then you could use the upside down as the same metaphor, okay? When we're in a Mercury retrograde, we are like in the upside down or being on the ship with Captain Jack Sparrow and his teammates. Like the Mercury retrograde, the energies are off. Technology is all jacked up. And it's because Mercury is going backwards, or it appears to go backwards, and we're in the upside down. So know that whatever you are doing right now, you're looking at things on the inside. You're looking at them in a different perspective, new eyes, and you're able to be rational about it, objective, more open to asking the hard questions, seeing things for what they are. No more lying to yourself or sugarcoating shit. I mean, I sugarcoat. I mean, I love to make my life sweeter, and therefore, I people please a lot. I make things out to be better than what they are. I'm one of those. So, here, let me, real quick before I move these. So, I'm going to do a Celtic cross-spread reading with using the angel answers, and then if I have time, I'm going to clarify it with the Kipper Deck. So, bear with me on the Kipper Deck because I'm trying to keep the reading, the timing of the reading in what I think is decent. So, I would say at this point in time, go ahead and ask yourself a question. Is there something that, whatever you feel like you need to know right now for yourself? Now, when I do these readings, they are typically 30 days to 3 months. Okay? So, go ahead and think of your question. Alright, angel answers. I'm looking for 10 cards for a Celtic cross-spread reading. What messages do you have for all viewers at this time? So, with this, right now, you could be thinking or wondering if you should do something, if you should stay. Now, I'm going to tell you, Mercury retrograde, it's a plan, it's a time of planning and not necessarily a time of action. Like, it's a 3-week time period given us as a gift by the universe. Here, sit with yourself, assess where you are, and think about where you want to go. Because right now, as soon as this 3-week time period is over with, we get catapulted into everything that we decided we wanted during a Mercury retrograde. Now, I'll tell you, each week is different. Like the first week, you know, you think you're fine and cool. You're asking questions. You're kind of sitting, chilling, and resting. Second week, you feel like you're being drugged through the mud. Your emotions are all over the fucking place. And then the third week, you feel like you're wobbly. Things are off. Usually during Mercury retrograde, I consider myself to be in like the Twilight Zone. That's how I refer to it. It's like being in the Twilight Zone for 3 weeks, okay? That 3-week time period sometimes seems like 6 months. Sometimes it seems like it went by on a whim. And sometimes it drags ass and you don't feel like you ever gonna get out of this abyss that you're in. But that's how the energies work. So you really have to talk to yourself, be your own coach, be your own cheerleader, coach yourself through it, cheer yourself along. No one else is going to do it for you. Only you can do that. I mean, they will, but, you know, I don't know that I would let others rule or decide how my life's going to be, because it's yours. And it's yours for a reason. It's yours to fuck up and do whatever you want to with, not someone else's. So do what you can and what you want with your life at your own will. Do not sign any contracts. Don't sign any papers. I wouldn't even sign a check. Whatever you do or sign or agree to during this 3-week time period, it will have backlash later. So make sure that, and if you don't take the time out to rest, to sit and chill and think and do the stuff I'm telling you about, you will find yourself burnt out and exhausted. Because that's what Mercury retrograde does. I mean, I told you at the beginning, it's a gift from the universe, from your higher power, from God. Like, here, take a chill, sit back a minute, put your feet up, relax a minute, and let's think about how far we've come and where we are. What do we need to take with us on the next steps of our journey? What's our next journey even look like, for that matter? What do we want to do within the next 3 months or 6 months or in the next month? What are some of the things we need to do or we want to accomplish? Because even Elon Musk says, whatever you're doing right now is setting you up for the next 5 years. So it's like, or maybe it's 3 years. It might be 3. So you have to think, whatever you're doing today is setting you up for the next few years to come. So once I had this realization, I started telling myself I need to, like, especially if I have things coming up. For example, Friday, I got to drive to go pick up my son. It's a Mercury retrograde. Anyways, I've started, daily before saying affirmations and prayers about safe travels. So, set yourself up for success. Start doing the work now so that you can be successful later. So keep in mind, whatever you decide during this time period, when it's over with, you are catapulted into whatever it is that you want. So make sure what you want is really what you want. So, with your question in mind, we have look for a sign. So, usually when this card comes out, this means that, like, your angels, your ascended masters, God himself, the universe, it is sending you signs and synchronicities. But a lot of times we are overlooking them or not paying them any attention. So whatever your question is that you're asking right now, the universe is trying to give you like little hints that I hear you, I see you. Keep in mind, this Mercury retrograde it's anything done in the Mercury retrograde is not set in stone. So this is really not a time to receive things, okay? It's a time to like sit with yourself and assess, reevaluate shit, re-strategize, restructure. Anything you put an RE in front of, that's what you need to be doing. And then look for the signs, because they're giving you direction. They're pointing you in the right way, so to speak. So your timing, your challenge right now is timing, the perfect timing. You may feel like either you are not ready just yet, or that like I've been saying this whole time with this Mercury retrograde. You know, you could be like me, and I'm going to tell you, I organize my life around a Mercury retrograde. I don't buy cars during the Mercury retrograde. I don't, like, sign documents. I don't start a job during a Mercury retrograde. I don't quit a job during a Mercury retrograde. I do not fuck around to find out during a Mercury retrograde. Okay? At this time, you're being asked to remain positive. Because you could be like, oh, I want to do this and this and this. And it's like, you want to go and you want to achieve it and you want to have it. But yet the timing isn't necessarily right just yet. Okay? It's like the plant, you know, when you have a mango, like, it's looking pretty, but it's still green and it's still hard as a rock. So if you will just let it sit there and let it marinate, it's going to start to turn a red color. It's going to start to soften up. That's those signs coming in. And then, like this daggone lightning bolt, you're going to smell that sucker, like, at the very end of your house. And you're going to be like, that mango is ready. And then, when you peel the skin back and you take a bite out of it, it is the best mango you've ever eaten in your life. But it's because you were patient and you waited for the right timing, which is the scenario here in this. But you have to, like I said, coach and be your own cheerleader through the situation, because there's patience here, because of this is one of those things where you want to go, but you can't, so you feel the antsiness or the anxiousness. You feel that. It's like, how do you combat that? You know, it takes a lot of inner chit-chat between yourself about slowing down, taking it easy. You know, we're not on fertile ground just yet. So, remain positive through these next 3 weeks. Okay, take it day by day if you have to. There's been plenty of times where I've just one day at a time. I'm telling you, one day at a time. Now, I will say 3 weeks ago to a month ago, something happened around this situation that you're asking about that put you on a path in a different direction. Something changed up here for you. Now look, here we are now. You may be frustrated and aggravated about either not feeling like you can move forward, or you might feel stuck. But know that the situation that you feel yourself in is going to change. It has to. This is one of those things, and I just forgot what I was going to say. All right, it's going to come back to me. It's going to come back to me. Oh, yeah. All right, so this could also be someone's situation, because this has happened to me before. You know exactly what you want to do. You know exactly where you want to go. And then it's like, you've been doing that for, like, let's say 6 years, okay? And then all of a sudden one day you're just like, you wake up and you're like, you know what, I don't want to do this no more. I don't even like doing this. Like, what am I thinking? What am I doing? That's what Mercury retrograde will do to you. So I'm telling you, remain positive, because, you know, we really, I feel like, get ripped out from the inside out during the Mercury retrograde. Okay, for some people, it wreaks havoc on some people. Now, you know, you have to think during the Mercury retrograde, that's like shadow work. That's inner work it's asking you to do. So you have to process, you've got to digest. Sometimes you have to regurgitate some shit. Sometimes you got like bile back to, or snot in the back of your throat, and you're like, where the hell did that come from? And then next thing you know, here comes somebody that you hadn't seen in a couple years that did you shitty, and you're like, oh yeah, well that's where that came from. There it is right there. So just know that you may have like an idea, or whatever it is that you're asking about here. You may have been so solid on it at one point in time, and now all of a sudden something's come through and you're like, no, I don't even know if I even want to do that anymore. So be patient with that. because that's what this time period does to us. So remain positive, because if you allow it to go through the energies, something will change about it before or on Mercury going direct. I'm telling y'all, one time, for the ones of y'all that have known me, I have been making soap for like 6, 7, hold on, even probably even longer than that, 8 or 9 years. And I'm trying to tell you, there was like 2 years ago, I made a shit ton of soap. I think I might have had like $1,000 worth of inventory. I made all this soap and was going to set myself up at the markets, had to go ahead, ready to get out there and start selling it. And I woke up one day during one of these things and I was like, you know what, I don't even want to do this. I don't even know why the hell I'm even making soap. I don't even like soap making it anymore. I hate making it. It's aggravating. I don't even know why I wasted all this money. I just spent $3,000. It's gone. Let me tell you, that Mercury retrograde right there, it might have been 2020 when that happened. But that one right there took me about 6 months to get over and to get the desire and the drive and the will and the want to make soap again. It took like 6 months for that shit to come back. But it finally came back. It finally came back. It took a minute, but I don't know what happened in that year, especially with that Mercury retrograde, but that one tripped me up for a minute. So, I just want you to know that it's almost like during a Mercury retrograde, like anything goes. So, you have to like really train yourself how to juck and jive, when to bob and weave, when to shut up, when to speak up, when to sit down. I'm telling you. That's why I'm all about being your inner cheerleader and your inner coach. Okay? Now, so we have in the near future. So here we are currently. Okay? This was like the past 3 weeks, or you could even go 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. Something changed in your dynamic around this question that you're asking. Okay? So either you were forced to choose something different, or you were made to go in a different way, or you woke up one day, kind of like I did, and decided you didn't want to do that anymore, and you either stopped what you were doing and didn't do it for a while, or you changed it up and went a different direction with it. So you could have had all this inspired action regarding this situation, and you were moving, all the doors were opening, everything was flowing, you were like, holy cow, this has got to be it, because everything that's happening to me right now is like chicka 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 chicka, like the little train that could, okay? And then all of a sudden now, you're in a lull. You're like, well, what the hell? Because I unfortunately have experienced that myself. It's like, okay, but the momentum was good, everything was going great, and then all of a sudden, you're at a standstill. That's Mercury retrograde. So remain positive, because this situation is going to improve. It will get better. But it is because of the energies right now and what we're going through as to why things are the way they are. So what you're asking about, and I'm not saying, because I'm not seeing right now that the answer is a no. It's just not the right time for it just yet. So something has to play out, like this Mercury retrograde, because this would be the time period that we come out of Mercury retrograde. So this would be like January 1st. So, this is being like on the date of January 1st and saying in the near future. So once Mercury goes direct on the 1st, it still has a shadow period that it takes usually about 7 to 9 days to get itself right. You can feel like you're in the in-between in that time period, okay? Because even those time periods, shit's wonky, okay? It is. So, this is like, allow the energies, allow to get through the wonkiness, that in-between, and then it's like once we're all free and clear about the middle of January, then this can happen, whatever it is that you're asking about. Your advice at the moment is that you need to ask help from others. So, if you are one who you're struggling because you want this to happen now, you need to look to other people for ways of occupying your time, maybe, or taking your mind off this question. In your environment, there are opportunities. So there are opportunities opening up to you to help you out or to help you through this at this time. They're going to present themselves. So make sure that you start looking for them, because remember, we have looking for a sign. Be looking for, you know, your little signposts, your little road signs, like, you know, it's coming. Be patient. Look for feathers, angel numbers, pennies, things like that. Whatever these opportunities that are opening up for you, there's a lot of gold in this card and money. So if you feel like you're struggling right now with money, then know there are going to be opportunities that present themselves to you to make money. And your hopes and fears, you are hoping that you can recover from, man, these trucks are loud when they go by. You're hoping that you're able to recover from whatever setback that this has caused you. There may be some fears around it. So that's when you really need to tap into, you know, your angels, your ascended masters, your higher power, the universe. Pray to God, give it over to God. You know, pray about it. Ask for, you know, assistance, confirmation, a sign, whatever it is that will give you peace to help you remain positive during this time period and work through whatever fears that you have at the moment. Now, your outcome is take action. So, you know, this is a unicorn. Kind of looks like Archangel Michael on its back. But this card here reminds me of the Eight of Wands. So it's, you know, it's a, or even the Knight of Wands. You know, like, you know how you watch like westerns or movies that have horses and someone is getting ready to take off on their horse. You know, they're about to be like, yeah. Well, the ones that really take off, they rear up first, like, whoa, and then take off, like stampede, like hi-yo, silver away. So this horse, this unicorn, has reared up, like, come on, let's go. So again, this is going to be like the middle of January toward the end of January is when you are going to be presented with an opportunity to take action on what it is that you're asking about. So there is going to be, oh my word, okay, bottom of the deck. There is a compromise and a yes to whatever it is you're asking about, okay? This compromise is of fairness and will be just for, you know, all involved. Now, look at the other cards that came up. This one in the middle, and most importantly, it's not the right time, okay? So, still yet, work behind the scenes on your question at hand, okay? Whatever, you need to make plans, you need to re-strategize, restructure it. You know, you might start looking at this situation, this person, this thing, all of a sudden, and see things, because I'm telling you, Mercury retrograde to do that to you. You'll see things differently, and it's like, oh my God, I missed that. Or how did I not see that? I couldn't see it like that before. So it's almost like, you know, you needed this time frame here, this break for a second, this sit the hell down for a minute, to see it from a different angle. Because it almost seems like, yes, what you're asking about, yes, but it's not the right time yet. Something's got to play out. Something's got to happen first. You know, there's other circumstances and situations and people, I'm sure, places and things that are involved, and they all have their own purpose within your question. So you have to go along the train tracks and allow for their stories or their situations to play out in order for you to get what you're asking for. Things have to line up right. Now, if you are asking, because, we had this compromise card up here, if you had an unfair situation that happened like in the past couple of months that sent you in a completely different direction that you're asking about, it may take this Mercury retrograde for another person to see it in a different light or to see it in a different way. So that, or they might have to go through something, or you may have to go through something before the two of you can come back together and see things differently. Like, for example, somebody lost their mind and you were like, can't talk to you right now. And it takes, 2 or 3 months for them to get their mind right. And then all of a sudden, it's like one day they wake up, their mind is right, and they see some shit differently. And then they come back, they're like, you know what? I realized that I was doing this and this and this. I don't know what the hell happened. Then that opens the door for a conversation to get clear on whatever happened and to hopefully reach a resolution. So just keep that in mind at this time. Right now is not the right time, but it's coming. So mark your calendar or keep, a note in the back of your mind. The middle to end of January is the perfect time to take action. Okay? Now, one reason why I feel, or actually the reason why I feel this Remain Positive card is here, is because it's up to you. It's going to be up to you how this situation pans out between the middle to end of January. Okay? It's going to depend on your level of awareness, because we're all different. We each are on our own path. You have to allow others to live their life to, their way, be responsible for themselves, and you. So, with that being said, there's a lot at play here. Be aware of how your thoughts are going to be rambling through your mind during these next 3 weeks. Because whatever you are thinking about that you don't want, you need to be and prepare yourself to embracing, because sometimes, those can bring about epiphanies and clarity. Those can be cold, hard truths. So prepare yourself to be, ready to embrace the acknowledgement, and then the releasing and the letting go of that, and then be open and prepared to see things in a new light or a new way forward and how to move forward with those. Because this situation really is going to be based upon you, how it turns out. So, this is a time to clean house, mentally, physically, and emotionally. So I'm going to clarify a few things here, okay, since we have a little bit of time left. All right, Kipper Deck, prepare yourself to clarify. What messages do you have for all viewers regarding this message here? What messages do you have for all viewers? Prepare yourself to clarify. Okay. Look for a sign. What can you tell me about looking for a sign? Okay, so this question that you're asking has to do with a male. Now, I would say this is a man who has a lot going for him. I would say, too, that he's involved in your life some sort of way. Like his finances are together. He's pretty wealthy, attractive. You either Okay, because this can go in, there's many people here. So either you have a child with this guy, something happened because he's now in despair over something that happened around the home. So if you do not have a child with this man, he sees you as this, okay? You're like the apple of his eye. He enjoys taking care of you, okay? So this is a man who has that type of relationship with you. So I would say that he has at least helped you in some shape or form in the past with bills or your finances. Now, what is this choose a new direction? What does this here have to do with? You could be, if you are in communication with this guy, then I would say that there are things happening right now that are kind of shocking to you, that kind of, surprise you or take you by surprise. Like he's doing stuff to maybe be a little bit more present or a little bit more active or showing back up or trying to or starting to show back up in your life, okay? Hold on a second. So there was something, okay, so choose a new direction. Now, if this person had to, this person could have moved houses. He could have gone somewhere while you were at home having to take care of the house and everything. And, he could have even left you in a position to where you're here like having to look after everything. It's put you in a different course, especially if he was helping you doing stuff and with your house, and then all of a sudden he had to step aside. And when I say step aside, I mean y'all broke up, or you took a break or a breather or something, or he had to leave and go somewhere else. Then that put you in charge of having to handle things on your own again. So you are being mature about this, about whatever is going on here. But it's almost like something has happened with this masculine to where this, whatever happened, it has elevated him somehow in his life, I feel like. Because whatever happened, it could have sent him through like an ascension or a dark night of the soul. It could have done the same for you. But somehow there's been a level up here, I feel like, between the masculine and the feminine. So keep that in mind, okay? All right, well, the situation, what can you tell me about the situation will improve? Okay, so the poverty card came out. So if you are feeling restricted right now in your finances, maybe it's because this masculine that once helped you, something happened and it took him away from you for a minute. So you're here on your own, back down to that one income and no help. Then know that situation, whatever is causing you to feel impoverished right now, the situation is going to improve. Don't stress about it too much. I know you might be in a pickle right now, and I am too, but you got to have faith and remain positive, because there's a change coming. So there is going to be some type, okay, so you've got money coming in. Now, this might be that you are unaware of it, and it shows up, like, for example, at my job where I work, customers have been coming in and giving us, like, bonuses or Christmas money. So it's like, you don't ever know when that's coming in. Like today, some man came in and gave us all $10. I mean, that's unexpected money right there. So it's like there's opportunities of either you running into people or people running into you to help you. There's unexpected money coming in. things are going to start moving and shifting. There will be an elevation here, especially around this masculine, I feel like. Especially around this masculine, because right now he is definitely in his mind thinking about what went down, what happened, and where you are now, and how he can move forward, but with you. So what is this in the near future? What can you tell me about this in the near future? All right, so right now, you and him both can be cut off from each other, which is what this poverty card could mean, okay? Now, this in the near future, because of whatever has transpired, I would say if you had, like, maybe this masculine, or you could have told him to take a hike for a little bit, y'all take a break, something. Now, if your question is around like a boss or a father, then you need to plug these scenarios in with that. But these questions that I'm giving now are based around a man, a masculine. So, it looks as though he had to go somewhere. You were very like, this might even be someone that you are married to, that you thought you could marry, that you want to marry. You may feel like this is someone who you are aspiring to be with. I definitely think they feel this way about you. I don't know what happened though, but something definitely happened. But in the near future, this masculine may really be beating himself up over something that he did. Especially if you had a breakup, and then now he's realizing the error of his ways, so to speak. This would be like around January 1st, where he could be having epiphanies and realizations about what he did wrong or where he messed up. So, and then that could make him, once he sits with himself and those thoughts, could be the thing that pushes him to reach out and suggest and, apologize and ask for certain things. But I think that when the two of you come together, it's going to be smooth, happy, lucky times after that. I also feel like, so this masculine is definitely going to reach out in some way of concern with a text message to you about, their actions, situation, apology, something. So it's like when the two of you come back together, you both will have gone through like an ascension. Like you grow, you have a level up. So I did a reading last week with the romance angels about this. So if you didn't see that one, I would go back and watch it, because you really need to focus on, like, during this Mercury retrograde, like having a glow up and looking good and being prepared for when this man comes back, especially if you want to, knock his socks off and blow him away. See what you missed out on? All right, anyways, what is this ask help for others? What can you tell me about this asking help from others? All right, so there might be an older man around you that you could talk to that would help you, like your dad or an uncle, somebody with gray hair. But I would say that if you're not going to ask others are going to be asking you, because it seems like the older people that are around you can see what this is doing, and I feel like they're going to be offering their assistance or help. So, yeah, it looks like there was a breakup between you and another. You might have felt like this person was your soulmate, or the one that you thought you could marry or spend the rest of your life with. But something came to an end. You're having to focus upon yourself and your work right now, and like everything that you got going on. But trust me when I say there is going to be a time when you two are going to come back together. I will say that whatever happened has made you grow mature within yourself and your life. What can you tell me about this opportunity? What's this opportunity card here? Yes, so you're going to be having incoming messages. Yep, and look, another one. So there's going to be messages coming in for you to make money. Especially if you went from a 2-person income now down to a 1. This masculine is definitely going to be thinking about you a lot. Somebody here, though, and I would say him, because it looks like it's him, is stuck on something that happened in the past. So while he's doing that, he's going to be thinking about this nonstop. It's almost like it's plaguing him, okay? You might be out here feeling like you are working for pennies and nickels, okay? Like you're working, 50 hours a week, but yet you're making, pennies and dimes. And it's like, I can't get by on this. But trust me, stay the course, because there is something coming. Oh, and look, a gift. There's definitely something coming to help you, okay? Now, what is this taking action card? What can you tell me about this taking action card? Okay. So, when it's time to take action, I would say that this masculine is really going to be the one to take action. So, make sure that you're ready, because he's going to be coming and presenting himself to you like you are the apple of his eye, the one he wants to take care of, the one he wants to look after and spoil with stuff. I mean, she's very well dressed. Her little bunny's even dressed. Look at her bed back there. Like, her stuff is immaculate. And 18 breaks down to a 9. So that's like completion. So something's definitely coming back around. And then they're going to want to have a talk with you. Now, I will tell you, you can play the fool here. Okay? Because look how she's over here like, oh God, here we go again. And then he's like, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to tell you. I mean, you play it however you want. But I think this situation is going to make this masculine kind of grow up and mature. So it's almost like it was destined. It needed to happen so that you and this person could level up. But there is a pathway opening up here. You just got to follow the yellow brick road like it's coming. Okay? I do think you are kind of like me right now. You're having to work your little fingers off. You might even be like, you might even barely be getting by. Okay? But just keep going, because right now it's working for you. Be open to these opportunities coming in for you to make money, because these are like gifts from the universe trying to help you out. But if you stay the course, then know that in the middle of January to the end of January is when you're going to see a big turnaround, and could also possibly see a gift of some sort from this masculine. So I thank you for listening to this reading or watching it. And if you've got any feedback that you would like to add, if there is a certain card deck that I just cut the Angel Answer Oracle to communicate clearly. So there's definitely something where you and this person are going to have to communicate. And you really need to be open and brave and tell them really how you feel, what you're going to put up with and what you're not going to put up with. Okay? And be open and honest about it. So if you have like a certain question or an area or a topic that you would like, these are going to be like general for the collective. So if you have a recommendation for the topic and or even the card deck, let me know. I'll be glad to do a reading. I will be here again next Wednesday. And until then, have a great weekend. And I will see you all again here soon. Take care. Namaste.